Well, this workshop aims at refreshing and also deepening the analysis that we proposed together with Olivier Roy in a recent book published with Hearst, an analysis on tribes and global jihadism. So this was the book, and the idea was to take this book, this publication, as a springboard to go a bit further and broaden the analysis. We wanted to look in particular at the same issue of tribes, especially in the post-Islamic State military defeat context, to try and introduce other case studies and gradually look at what the main important issues should be for future research.
First of all, we have to understand that jihadism is explicitly formulating an alternative to the tribe, because the main concept of jihadists is of course not the tribe, it's the ummah. And the ummah is a much bigger figuration than the tribe. Nevertheless, in order to become politically successful and to get influence on the ground, we have a number of alliances between certain parts of tribes, never an entire tribe, certain sections of tribes, and jihadist groups.
And I think sometimes there's a kind of misunderstanding of the rule of tribes in Iraq. Who study the history of Iraq, you'll find that the tribal rule in Iraq has finished in the end of the Ottomani period in Iraq. Some people belong to some tribes, join the jihadist movement, like they joined the security forces or the army or the other parties in Iraq. So it is a kind of a free decision made by the individuals belong to tribes, but it is not the decision made by the tribe itself.
So I think it's difficult to say that tribes are political actors. So it's not a unified political position within the same tribe. It's the first thing. And the second element that is very important is also there is no political authority within the tribes. And the paradox perhaps is that the international coalition, but also the Syrian regime, Russian, Iranians, and the Kurdish forces, all of these actors bet on tribes and on tribal leaders.
The concept of heterarchy deals with the multiplicity of political actors in the current situation in a country like Libya, where you have various groups who compete, sometimes interact in the political field on a horizontal level. Tribes are just one aspect of heterarchy. Militias are another aspect. Ex-elites of the Gaddafi regime are another factor. Even international forces contribute or play a role within a hierarchical setting. And this is also true for jihadism. So for the youth, to gain a voice and political participation in a traditional tribal society is quite difficult, because in most of the cases, unmarried young men are not allowed to speak up in a tribal gathering. But the jihadists give them exactly this platform to be someone, to become someone, and to participate in a broad and a great political and religious project.
At the end of this very fruitful day and a half of discussions, I think one of the main conclusions that came up is that I think now it's time to go beyond the issue of tribes, that the focus that we've put on tribes was maybe mostly a symptom of a deeper and broader crisis that is affecting the region now, which is what we term today maybe a crisis of leadership and a crisis of governance. One of the key conclusions that we've reached is that you have basically three main factors that contribute now to the emergence of influential local people, which are basically access to weapons, which is key, especially in a region characterized by warfare and civil conflict, the issue of wealth, and all the political economy dimension of the crisis, which means where smuggling, illicit activities, but also licit flows of goods and people contribute to a new political economy of the region, so wealth, access to wealth, and also external support, which has been and is still a key determining factor of influence and power for local actors in the region.